What do you picture when you hear the phrase inventor's paradise? Is it some futuristic workshop with endless resources, a place where a great idea just smoothly becomes a reality? Well, that's kind of the promise of the American patent system. But as we're about to see, behind that shiny promise, there's a much more complex and frankly hidden reality. So let's pull back that curtain.
So our story starts in a place that, honestly, sounds a little too good to be true, right? Paradise Valley. The source material for this explainer paints a picture of this as the ultimate spot for innovators, like the perfect launch pad for the next big thing. You can almost feel the optimism just looking at it.
But that really brings up the big question, doesn't it? Is that journey from a spark of genius to a product that changes the world really a walk in the park? We're about to find out if this paradise is all it's cracked up to be, or if there are some serious cracks in the foundation. Okay, first up, a paradise for inventors? Let's dig into the promise of this so-called innovation haven. What is it that makes a place like Paradise Valley seem like the absolute perfect ecosystem for a brilliant new idea? Well, according to our source, the appeal is pretty undeniable. It's pitched as this great place to move to, and it's just packed with everything you'd need: patent services, employment help, even free legal aid for small businesses. Add in a buzzing scene with universities and tech startups, and yeah, it's basically designed to be the whole package for an inventor. All right, so that's the dream. Now it's time for the reality check. Let's pull back from that idyllic vision and get into the nitty-gritty of what it actually takes to get that all-important patent. On the surface, it looks so simple, right? Step 1, make something useful. Step 2, get a license agreement. Boom, done. But as pretty much any inventor on the planet will tell you, the real challenge, the real struggle, is in that huge, complicated gap between those two little steps. And one of the first walls you're going to hit? Time. A lot of it. Sure, there's this fast-track option that can get you an answer in 2 to 4 months. But the typical process? That can drag on for 1 to 3 years. Just think about that uncertainty, waiting all that time while your big idea is on the line. So you're probably thinking, why doesn't everyone just hop on that fast track? Well, as you might have guessed, there's a catch, and it's a big one. Speed costs money. That express lane to a patent comes with a $4,000 fee for a lot of folks. So much for a paradise for the little guy, huh? It's got a pretty expensive toll booth. But the hurdles aren't just about today's time and money. There are these deeper historical problems that are literally baked into the system itself. The official record of American innovation is way more fragile than you'd ever imagine. I mean, just look at this timeline. It tells a pretty fractured story. The first patent was granted way, way back in 1641. But then in 1836, a catastrophic fire at the patent office just wiped out almost 10,000 patents. Gone. Of all those lost records, only about 2,800 were ever pieced back together, which leaves this massive, permanent black hole in our country's history of invention. And this created what our source calls an impossible situation. I mean, really think about it for a second. Without those records, how could the patent examiners possibly know if a new idea someone brought in was actually new? It injected this fundamental uncertainty right into the heart of the entire process. And this brings us to an even more critical and kind of heartbreaking point. It wasn't just documents that were lost to history. It's entire groups of people, whole communities of innovators, who were systematically left out of the story of American invention. And this problem goes all the way back to the very beginning. That first patent in 1641, it was written with what's described as colorblind language. Now that might sound neutral, but the actual real-world effect was that it excluded Black inventors from the get-go. A barrier was built right into the foundation of the system. Okay, now let's jump forward to a really pivotal year, 1876. Let's focus on this number. In that year, the official records show that 124 women successfully got patents for their inventions, a clear, solid number. But wait, in that exact same year, our source shows that the clerks at the patent office just neglected to record the names of another 784 women inventors. Just let that sink in. That discrepancy is staggering. For every one woman who got her name in the books, more than 6 were completely overlooked. It's a powerful and frankly shocking example of who got written out of history. But here's the thing, that is not where the story ends. Not by a long shot.
Despite all these historical hurdles and systemic flaws, incredible inventors have always pushed through. They've been forging a new legacy and completely rewriting the narrative.
And right here, we can see the path forward. In the face of all these challenges, you get these modern trailblazers. People like Lisa Oscalace, who goes by the Inventress. She founded an entire association to support women innovators, directly fighting back against that historical exclusion. Or Janet Emerson Bashan, who in 2006 smashed through a huge barrier to become the first Black woman to get a software patent. And Dr. Hadia Green, who secured a $1 million grant for a totally game-changing cancer treatment. They really represent the kind of resilience and pure brilliance that just refuses to be held back.
So it's pretty clear, right? The inventor's paradise isn't some place you find on a map. It's something you have to build, piece by piece. The story of invention is and always has been a work in progress, shaped by the people who fight to be seen and heard. So the real question is, who's going to write the next chapter, and what will their paradise look like?